I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.
If you're a Pick 6 player, or any player for that matter, and you want to get involved in the third race, best you get your bets on by 25 to 2, 13:35, because that's the off time of the third event on Wednesday. It's a maiden handicap for fillies and mares. The average rating is 55, and they're going over 1.6 kilometers. Not easy to try and work out the result. At the time of recording, there are 8 runners that will face the starter. Please check your scratchings, jockey changes, etc. before taking your final bets. Rahil, looking at the betting, the favourite, early favourite, at around 18 to 10. I say around 18 to 10 because we all use different platforms and different sites. But to give the punters and the viewers a rough idea, around 18 to 10, such a cracker. For me, I'm on the back foot with her last run because I fancied her quite strongly and she let me down. I know the comment is that she was rolled out and eased at a crucial stage of the race, but still, it's got me on the back foot. What do you think about such a cracker?
I'm just willing to put a line right through that run, Warren. If we judge it based on her 2 previous poly starts, I think she's a horse that they all have to beat here. Beaten behind Just Virginia in the penultimate start. I'm not quite sure whether it was the best of rides from Calvin and Kobo on that day. I thought that this filly should have won. But nonetheless, I think that with Calvin Habib in the irons now, I think she's going to have every chance to shed that maiden tag. She's been dropped back in trip to 1600, which is going to suit her right down to the ground. 2 runs of the course in distance for a second and a third. And I think that such a cracker, she's a horse that you can go within the PA and banker. I think that she should run an absolute cracker here. Number 2, if you say so, big improvement last time out behind Natalia. That was on a turf track. Whether she's going to be able to confirm that now on the poly track over 1600 meters. Muzieni does stick with her ride, so that is a positive. Number 6, French Princess. Much improved last run behind Meredith Grey. 52.5 kgs once again on the back. Going over 1600 meters, she could make further improvement and she could get into the mix. So she would be the second choice for me after number 4, such a crack. And this horse number 3, Columbia Road. She's a horse that's been terribly, terribly disappointing. On her first start, I know that the yard thought that she would run well because it was a field that lacked a bit of depth. And there was the first timer in the race from the Wendy Whitehead yard, which did run a decent race. But this horse went off as your favorite and ran 5.5 lengths off them. Then that penultimate start, she just never showed. Last time out, never showed once again. I think now with just 51 kgs on the back, on the poly track, 1600 meters, I think look for some big improvement from number 3, Columbia Road. And she could just be the lurker for those trifectas and quartets. She's been priced up at around 20 to 1 in the market. And I think she represents some nice value for those trifectas and quartets. And maybe even a horse to include into those swinger bets.
Okay, that's good to know because that's what it's all about, is to try and find a bit of value and to try and find a few lurkers. Thanks for your explanation with such a cracker. You've got me off the back foot, and I'll respect her a bit more and will include her. Such a cracker. Blinkers could be the master stroke, you're quite right. I think the most cheek will come from French Princess, who's improving each and every time. Jason Gates has now got to know her every stride. 52.5, and the Louis the King filly for Savenne, Governor Greg Bodle, Mrs. Chinsamy, Howells and Robert Regnard certainly could make her presence felt in a big way. Math and Caitlin, number 1 from the Robin Clarkson stable. I'm not so sure this filly is a long distance type of filly. I'd like to see her racing over a little bit shorter, but we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Gate 1, Keegan de Miller. She's been lucky, this filly, with draws here in KwaZulu-Natal, but Keegan de Miller, an interesting jockey engagement. Okay, after all is said and done, for race 3, Rahil is going with For Such a Cracker. I'm going to agree with him with For Such a Cracker. I'm going to change my opinion, but I have got healthy respect for 6 French Princess. That's race 3. We're going to talk to you in a moment about race 4.
My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.